Doing this one thing helped me actually bring a lot of motivation into my life and get a lot done with a little energy or a little effort. And if you guys are stuck or in the same spot as me, I would suggest you actually try it out. What is up, boys? What is up, kings? Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Trey and I help you create massive breakthroughs in your life. If you are someone who has an idea, if you are someone who wants to start a business or anything of that sort, you know, doing this, we always go out with the best expectations. We always go out with the fullest of energy and the most of excitement, I guess, if you want to say that, for whatever this goal, this idea, or this topic is, or this dream is. The thing is, the way we live now, how society is now, we are being constantly rewarded, you know. We are being overly rewarded and overly stimulated for almost the bare minimum. Basically what I mean is things like video games, things like porn, things like food, junk food, fast food, you know, anything that gives you that sense of pleasure or fulfillment. These guilty pleasures is what I'm trying to say. Not that they are bad or not that they are fully, you know, everything, like I always say, there's balance in everything. Everything has its goods and everything has its bad. The thing is, over the years and over the many generations, you know, we've grown a lot. And now we have things that are available to us that was never or would have never been available to us way back when we wanted to eat. We had to hunt, you know, when we wanted to mate or when we wanted to find sexual pleasure or reproduce, we had to go out, we had to find it, you know, we had to be the best, we had to be chosen. Now we're at points where if we want junk food, we pull something out of the freezer, you know, if we want a boost of dopamine, we play a video game, I don't know, whatever you guys do to release dopamine. Say you guys do a task, you know, say you have a job or something you do at school and you do a good job. Your teacher rewards you with a golden star. That's like your dopamine. Releasing dopamine is like what motivates you to live. Me walking outside right now in nature is releasing dopamine. And the thing that I want to point out or get out for you in this video is that if you want to be able to direct your life in the way you want to go without it, you know, pulling you from all sides, you have to be able to learn how to maintain how much dopamine and when you are releasing dopamine. So imagine, I'm just gonna use smoking and drugs as an example, but this can tie into anything like sex, this can tie into junk food, this can tie into anything that releases your dopamine or dopamine for you in the way that that satisfies your dopamine cravings. So this is just an example, but you can put it anywhere it fits. Imagine smoking for, say, I don't know, 2 weeks straight, every single day, 2 weeks straight, or just always being high every single day. If you like smoking, that's going to release a hell of a ton of dopamine, and it's going to make you feel, and it's going to put you in this heaven-like, or not talking about simply being high, but it's going to put you in this pleasure-like state where you realize that smoking is some part of your happiness. You're going to tie your happiness to that. So when you're feeling down or when you're feeling unmotivated or simply not happy, you will go to smoking, and that is going to be kind of like your reward system. So smoking is going to be releasing this dopamine in your brain, and it's going to trick your brain to thinking you did something that you really didn't do. You know, your brain usually rewards you for surviving, doing things you need to do to survive, and then it rewards you and then it makes you happy. So when it comes times to do things like focusing on your business or attracting women or just doing things that basically we need to do to survive, you will feel unmotivated, you will feel a lack of energy. And this is not just two, you know, it can span over so many things. But we will lose the motivation, we will lose the energy and the lack of drive because it's not giving us the same pleasurable feeling as smoking. We're so used to and we don't even realize that it's the smoking that we're really attracted to or stuck to. Use the smoking in any example that you want, the sex, anything, guys, anything that releases your dopamine. So subconsciously we are gravitating towards this dopamine release. So I talk a lot about semen retention on my channel. If this is masturbation for you, we go to these senses of dopamine release, or these craving fixes, that's what I want to call it. We go to these craving fixes or these little fixations to temporarily give us this boost of dopamine or this boost of energy. But we realize this every single time we go back to the same exact spot that we started off in. Once I started realizing this cycle with myself and just different aspects of what I'm doing currently in my life, then I started to realize, like, damn, these are some areas that I may have to or I may need to make changes in, you know. And at first it is very, very it gets uncomfortable, guys, because we're so used to the pleasure and so used to being able to be happy whenever you want, being, you know, in your element, being simply just happy all the time. But you got to realize where your happiness is coming from, guys. It's a chipmunk there. You got to realize where your happiness is coming from, guys. If it's not coming from the right spot, it will not last and it will not satisfy you. So what you can do is set timers for yourself, and it may seem challenging or hard or tricky at first, but guys, this is another one of the funnest parts of, you know, just building yourself up as a person. So for me, I put on my schedule that, you know, I usually wake up in the morning and smoke right away, or at least within the first hour and a half of waking up. I will put on my schedule, you know, I will put exactly what I had to do, and until I would think 7 o'clock p.m. just to start it out. I think I started at like 5 o'clock. It really wasn't that serious, but I kind of wanted to push myself. I would put, you know, all the way from the morning until 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock p.m., you know, until everything was done that I wouldn't be able to play video games or to smoke. The thing is, being home, especially during quarantine, it doesn't really work like that. So what I suggest you guys try or do that I'm doing now, and this is just, it just makes everything the most funnest process ever. Do in the morning, or you guys can set literally anytime you want, but space it out in between, you know. Dopamine basically rewards your brain for taking action and doing things that's going to help you survive, right? So whatever it is you have to do, make a list, put everything you need to do, whether it's big, small, chores. You know, obviously don't bombard your list because you're probably going to have to do it every day, but put the things you need to do, and in between those things put your guilty pleasures. You know, I would say the max three a day in 3 different spots. If you have a busy day, I would say 1. But yeah, fill your guilty pleasures in those spots after you complete a job, you know. So say you wake up, say you make your bed, say you brush your teeth, say you make breakfast, you clean up, I don't know, after yourself, you go out, you wash your car. After that, you have your guilty pleasure, you know, whether it's food, whether it's your video game, whether it's, you know, whatever it is. Don't overdo it. But then you go to your next segment of the day. You break your days into segments, and after each segment you reward yourself. So now that is going to push you while you're doing your task or while you're doing whatever it is you're doing. You know you have something waiting for you at the end, so that pushes you to keep going or to keep moving forward, and it makes it fun because, well, the work isn't, 9 times out of 10, the work isn't that hard as we make it seem or what we think it is, and we reward ourselves, you know. And that's something that we got to start doing more. We have to start rewarding ourselves more for what we do rather than what we don't do. We can't sit and reward ourselves, because then think about how you'll be. You wouldn't have any motivations to do anything, probably like how most of us are now. If this made any type of sense for you guys, don't forget to let me know in the comments. Let me know what day you guys are on. This is my first time starting this streak. Also, if you're new here, I do talk about semen retention, and if you guys would like to check that out, you can click that as well. And lastly, if you enjoyed the content, don't forget to show love by leaving a like or subscribe. As we know by now, it helps the algorithm, and it helps people who are usually not able to see my videos appear on their feed. So it's free, and if you enjoyed the videos, why not? With that being said, remember to be positive, stay great, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.